Yes, we're live. So we're trying something a little bit different out. You can probably tell my kitchen is behind me tonight, and this camera looks like trash compared to the camera that I normally use. I don't want to know why the cameras on computers are so shitty. I have like 8 cameras shoved into my cell phone, and this Mac has one shitty fucking camera. Anyways, this is just going to be a random live stream tonight. The goal here is just to kind of chill out, go over a few of your guys' thoughts or questions or whatever it might be, and just kind of get in the habit of, using this laptop. As I said in my other videos, I'm going to be gearing up to jump on the road in the next month, and having it so that I have a more portable, easy way to do the whole studio thing. Things will be good. So we're in my kitchen tonight, which is a totally unusual thing. And this is just going to be an Ask Me Anything moment. I figured why not, because it's late. There's nothing else to really do here in the jungle right now. We could even go upstairs. I don't even think you guys have seen upstairs yet most of the time, have you? Jesus, that's crazy. So what we're going to do is, we'll just chill out here for a little bit. We'll see how many people show up. I'm not super popular because, I'm me, but I'm used to that. So let's give it a few minutes. Let's see here. What do we got? Buy or sell. Generally, I think if you just keep accumulating, that's the best way to go. But that's a different story. I did take some profits yesterday. I closed out some Bitcoin and Ethereum profits. But again, all those I had bought back near basically March through August, effectively. So that was my buying moment. I sold a little. I just have this strategy of trying to make sure I have 3 years of business covered. As an entrepreneur, my first few businesses, I would do really well, and then I would make like a bunch of money one year, and then I would go like another year or two without making any more money. And I'd have to rebuild my business plans. So I got used to kind of always making sure there was dry powder in the keg for about 2 to 3 years up front, and really budgeting that in. I know I tell a lot of people to budget. They probably think I'm joking, like I'm your fiduciary talk. I'm not a fiduciary. I'm not responsible for anything you do with your own money, but I do think keeping a budget is an important way to go. So I buy and sell based off that effectively. Where I can fit within my budget. Although I don't necessarily need to budget per se, I just it's just my favorite way to go. Let's see here. Is bull market end? Is bull market fin? Fin they bull market? Interesting question. No, I do not believe the bull market is over. Could we see a temporary change of character? Yes, I do believe that is what we're witnessing right now. And if we take a look here, all you should be able to see right now is my screen. And, we've been talking about this trading range for a while. We're a huge fan of the Wyckoff trading ranges for a bunch of reasons. And this potential phase C here is really what we're interested in, which is this a distribution moment? And again, I went over this earlier in my video today, but there just wasn't the supply signature down at the bottom here that really makes me think that this is a distribution. Not like the end of the bull market distribution. End of the bull market distributions often have a hugely climactic supply signature come in to this upthrust, and we didn't see that. The only climactic supply signatures we see are to the downside here. And again, I think that's important to remember. We're looking for characteristics that do often repeat. So I'm looking for an automatic rally, probably a test of around the $55,000 area. If we can get above 57,000, we'll continue upwards. But right now, I was just cautious because of where we are, and because these are large supply signatures that are somewhat equivalent to the primary shakeout, which I've gone over a few times being kind of one of the lead indicators of what I want to keep my eyes on as we're going. So this supply signature on the left-hand side of the screen and this supply, most people call them volume. I like the sound of the word supply signature. So I don't go a volume signature. No, this supply signature here versus this supply signature here, we are seeing a big shakeout. And, it isn't until we see it usually on the upthrust here in that primary supply signature that we would be worried. And that's what Ethereum was doing. And that's why one of the reasons why I took some profits out of Ethereum as well. Now, I did not close my entire position. I will never do that. I just like to make sure I always have enough operating like US dollars to get through the game for around 3 to 5 years, 2 to 3 years, something like this. So here, right now, we're going to highlight that the same kind of mentality, which is that we are looking for, notice the supply drastically increase here. And Ethereum actually looks much more like a distributional pattern with this massive increase in supply coming in before a distribution. And look at how well this was absorbed. That was like kind of the fun. Like this is a huge supply signature equivalent to the shakeout. So we meet some of the characteristics that we're talking about. And I think that's important, is that we want to find these bands. And there's this band right along the bottom here where that supply signature is equivalent. And, even though we don't see it directly in Bitcoin, I don't think it's the end of the bull market. It maybe for Ethereum, but we're really going to want to be patient. We haven't even fallen through the bottom of the trading range yet. So even though we're seeing a big supply signature come in and what would appear as usually a double top in this upthrust moment, we really want to watch for a break below these horizontal trading ranges that we're in. So I do not think that the bull market is over. What I actually think we're going to get is just an extended bull market. I think we're going to end up creating basically, let's draw it as a distribution. We go down here and then we drop. And I think we end up seeing probably a rising gradient bottom where it does something like this. Very similar, very, very similar to what we saw back in August of last year when Bitcoin was just starting its bull market. So I do think we're actually going to get a longer story for Bitcoin here, which is quite nice, which means, okay, maybe the $100,000 mark by August isn't quite right. But I think we're just going to get a longer tailwind into that effect. So if we go over here, we go to Glassnode. I should probably make sure all of this is working. Let's take a look here, actually. Let's make sure everything's running smoothly, just because I've never used this computer. Okay, cool. Everything's working. Cool. Everything's working great. Okay, so we've gone over this chart a few times as well. This is the balance on exchanges. Here on the 15th, we saw a massive chunk leave, and then a big chunk of supply come back onto the market. Now, what's interesting here is that this new supply, this run up since the 19th coming onto the market, is most likely all retail. And we've talked about this to some degree. We don't see a huge change of character in the percent balance changing yet. And if we do, and if we went over the stock to flow model, I'm just going to kind of go over what I went over this morning for where we are in the bull market. The stock to flow model right now is really healthy too. We are actually underpriced in Bitcoin right now in terms of what it costs to mine and make. I do not suspect we will stay below this much longer. That would, I think it very quickly, we jump up to around $90,000 after that reaccumulation range. So I'm not thrown in my hat here by any means. I just took some risk off the table, like a good little puppy dog. And again, this one I think is a really fun way to look at it too. This is the stock to flow deflection model. So everything above the red is where Bitcoin versus the mining price, like the cost to run miner, right? So like servers, internet, CPAs, business managers, the warehouses, the electricity, upgrading your mining fucking ASIC nonsense or whatever, ant miners. This is the cost. This is basically what the stock to flow model represents, is the cost of creating a Bitcoin on a day-over-day basis for the people who mine Bitcoin. So here in the stock to flow model, every time we're below in the green here, this is when it's actually cheaper to buy Bitcoin than it is to mine it. And as you can see, there are very few times when we have actually gone below. And what's really interesting, only twice in this bull market so far have we peaked out in the Bitcoin's price. And we're a little early and we dropped right back down. Now, what you can also see is that this area, this nice area here around There we go. It's a nice area here around what 0.5 on the stock to flow model where this line comes through. We've actually hit multiple times and we're running right up into that area now. So we may not go lower, right? And that's the important part to remember is that even though this looks like a distribution, at least in its architecture, we didn't see that distributional phase come in this supply signature moving up. So there is still a very real possibility that we just go slip back up to above $58,000 and keep going, right? So this is a really pivotal moment. Even though we're seeing a little bit of weakness, we have not seen a major sign of weakness, which is usually below the trading range at around $44,000 as a close, right? So we may jet back up, jump above the point of control here at 56,000 and continue onwards. But to make the answer simpler, no, I do not believe the bull market is over. Even if we drop down to 32,000, when you look at the rest of this, when you look at how the fact that Bitcoin right now is cheaper to buy than it is to mine, it really, I think it highlights the idea of where we are. And the stock to flow model by itself kind of shows that as well. And if we look at the stock to flow ratio, oh, wait, hold on. I'm right by the fridge, ladies and gentlemen. This is great. Just going to crack a little drink here. Yes. Okay. So as you can see, this kind of gray line is the nominal price of what it costs to mine and create Bitcoin on a day-over-day basis, right? So here you can see it's slowly, steady climbing. And as you can see, we kind of peaked out at 37,000, dropped back below, peaked out at 51,000, dropped below, peaked out at 61,000, and we've dropped below. And again, I think what's important here is understanding that miners are a business model. They're not mining Bitcoin just for shits and giggles because they like to keep the Bitcoin system running. They are doing it because they get paid in Bitcoin for doing so. So as a nominal business, when you see these green start, basically this idea that we're hovering below the nominal cost, when you look out into the future, we are on our way to $100,000 plus Bitcoin. I think it is inevitable. This bull market is not fucking over. It's just taking a little bit of a breather. And it's really clear as we go back that, you know, back in 2017, we actually stayed well below the early stock to flow model through July, August, the early parts of the bull market. And once we hit it, we blew up. I do not think we're going to get as ridiculous, this massive blow off top that we had in 2018. I'm not sure we get that now. I think we get to see probably a more sustained movement. So even here, if we drop back down, if we drop to $30,000 Bitcoin, which will just be ridiculous, I'll be buying as much as I can get my hands on. This stock to flow model has us up at $100,000 by August, right? So I still stand by my $100,000 by August idea. I just think we're taking a break. I think we're taking a break to scare out weak hands, to close out all the leverage positions, and just to, in general, you know, kind of reset. It's like what do they say in Clubhouse? Yeah, I'd like to reset the room. Can we just reset the room, guys? Anyways, point of this: the bull market is not over. That was the answer to the question. Jesus, that took me a while to answer that. Okay, next, ask me anything question. Let's see here. Pop out chat. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my face right now. And then I'm going to take a look at the screen for the chats. Megan says, what's up, Tio? Should we ask you about crypto or chill questions? Any questions will do. You guys can ask me anything tonight. R, Binary 12. I have no idea what R is. I have so much stuff. Nice to see a tour of your place. Okay. Well, I don't have the greatest lighting in here right now, but what I will do is I'll show you. There you go. There we go. Okay. So what I will do is I'll show you. So this is my kitchen, as you can kind of see. Let's see. Here we go. That's the kitchen. It's this is all like wood and teak from the property. I like to keep this in here. It's all one big open room concept. So here you gotta love the drum kit, right? I know you guys never get to see this part of the room, but anyways, drum kit, little recording studio over here. This is the house. You know, some of you already know this. That's where I like to read my books and play my guitar. There you will. There it is. There's the green light. We're still in a bull market. That's at least the light's telling me we're in a bull market. And then out front, you can't see, but I'll start, we'll start doing more vlogs again. Just, I like doing that stuff, but that's a quick little, I could go upstairs too, I guess. Nah, another day. We'll save it for another day. Let's chill out down here and keep going. Okay, so more questions, more random answers from Tiho. Okay, let's see. Oh, the dog wants in. Quit whining, you little mutt. Come on in. Come on. Good boy. House. You're just whining for no reason. You come say hi to the bear family. So this is Palos. He's way too big to be a lap dog anymore. Oh yes. Here you go, Palos. Say hi. Wait. Oh. Hey, you calm down. They were whining otherwise. Blood in the streets? Not really. Everything looks good to me. We're actually even seeing a little bit of strength in the turnaround right now, which is great. Again, I'm not convinced that was a distribution yet, but I did take some profits just in case. Or I guess profits is the wrong word. U.S. dollars to cover stupid normal life expenses. Okay, let's see. Be fair, I'm in Central MS. I don't know where that is. I don't know if you talked about Chainlink, but I'm going to ask it anyways. What do you think about Link? I like Link. I hold some of it in my portfolio. I don't try to think too much. Like, I'm not married to ideas. I don't give a fuck, really. I don't care about Link. I'm not like, I like Link is Link Marine. I think being a cultist when it comes to investing is probably a really poor idea. I'm always blown away that people do it. They'd be like, oh my God, like I'm just only hodling Link or something like this. Yeah, so I have Link, but that's it. If for some reason I feel like I'll change that without hesitation. Liam says, hey, I was hoping to move to Costa Rica to kite surf. I don't think we have great kite surfing here. We have amazing surfing, but I don't know how good of our kite surfing is. Do you have an opinion on injective protocol? If not, you should have a read. I own Serum, which is another decentralized derivatives exchange idea backed by FTX. So I own Serum, not injective. Anyways, there's that. I really enjoyed the live stream earlier. Great breakdown on what is going on in the crazy world of crypto. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the support. I love being able to share my conjecture with you. Carl Mingus says, BTC this institutional time will never go below 30 again. See, stop spreading FUD. First off, you sound like a fucking newbie, Mr. Carl Magnus Lie. Spreading FUD is something I have never done. We could very easily go down to 30 because institutional buyers don't give a shit about I don't think you know anything about institutional buyers. Jesus. Well, that's okay. We'll leave it at that. That's all you get for that question. It's not even a question. You putz. And for the record, so you guys know, I like being kind of like abrasive. I've been that way my whole life. I grow pineapples in the jungle. Like, I don't give a shit what you think. Spreading FUD. Come on, get your fucking head out of your ass. And thank God for YouTube letting me tell people that I'm swearing in all my videos so that they don't demonetize me anymore. Thank you. I'm glad. That's a big deal. How long is this bear moment could take? Again, we don't know that this is distribution yet. We don't know that this is distribution yet. It looks more like distribution on Ethereum. And such huge amounts of supply came in with Bitcoin that we would tend to believe that it's at least an intermediary distributional moment. And again, we could very, very easily see a dip down to around 37,000 for a reaccumulation. Yeah, I don't think we'll go below 30. Here, if we go back, let's take a look. BTC share. Okay, so I'll show you where I think we're going to probably end up if this is a distributional pattern. So this area here around 32,000. and around 41,000. So let's say we did this, and we come back down. I think we would form a reaccumulation pattern before going higher. And we've seen these before. We've very, very, very clearly seen these before. And here's another moment where we saw a distributional moment back in August. We had the top of the trading range here. We had our up thrust, bang, through the top of the trading range, massive amount of supply come in. And then again, this is the interesting part. We did not see that on Bitcoin this time. So that's why I'm not fully convinced yet. And then a major sign of weakness. And then again, it just turned into a reaccumulation pattern before much, much bigger breakout came. And I do suspect that that's what we're witnessing right now, is it's just an intermediary cycle. So that we would have a distributional pattern, boom, drop down to around 30, bam, and explode. But again, we don't know until we get some much clearer signs. And again, it's normally the supply signature normally jets up really, really high at this rising part, and we just don't see that. We only see the supply come in when it starts to drop, and that could be any number of things. Again, any number of like profit taking ideas. Like I took profit here. Well, I sold some Bitcoin for US dollars to cover business expenses here at around 55,000. So we do know that some of this distribution is coming from me and people like you, I would assume as well then. So I'm not convinced that this is distribution. We're going to want to keep a really close eye on it in the next 24 hours. If we jump around above 57,000, we're just going to keep going. But this kind of secondary reaccumulation pattern like we saw way back here, where we go up, we come down, and then we go up again, it seems very likely to me at this point. Well, we'll get to watch. We get to find out. Isn't that exciting? We get to learn about what's happening. So anyways, we'll go back here, take a look at a few more of your guys' thoughts and questions. How long is this bear moment could take? I don't know. I'm not going to try to time it. But again, I think we're going to be at Bitcoin 100,000 by around August. Update on Ren, please. I've been buying like crazy. Sounds like you're overextended a little bit there. I don't know. I don't want to take a look at Ren right now. I'm just going to answer random questions for the continuing moment. If I remember later, I'll look. Pirate Chain. Oh, this is the R. I'm not much of a privacy coin guy, personally. I mean, yes, privacy is important. Ultimately, it's very valuable, but doesn't make a whole lot of difference for me. I'm still using my passports, registering AML and KYC for SAFs and equity, and what the fuck do I care about privacy for? I'm not some this is just not my game. It's just not my style. I'm like, look, why would a YouTuber be worried about privacy? Here's my kitchen. See, it's just kind of off kilter, I guess. Let's see. When the next bull market is going to happen, in your opinion? Oh, yeah. Bull market, let's not worry about the bull market. We're still in the bull market. We haven't left this bull market yet. Beautiful dogs, thank you. It's green, I know. Look, there you go, guys. You can see in the corner over there, the light's still green. R is a pirate privacy coin that Jeff Berwick likes, up 400%. Great. Ride whatever you guys think is interesting. I support that. I've always supported that. In Glasswalker, you know this clearly. Whatever you guys are interested in following, you should do that. I support you. When should I cash out? What tells you when to cash out? I like what Jesse Livermore talks about, and Warren Buffett, which is like the sleep scenario. If you are having trouble sleeping, it means you have way too much on the line. That's a good time to cash out. Before it goes red. Funny. How many payers you have each month paying for your advices? What? I don't give advice. We have a private group where we all work together on learning and bringing stuff to the table, like Glasswalker just did with R or Pirate. And then other people will like it and share it. And I won't get in it because I'm doing other things. Currently working on more venture capital stuff. TerraBlock is my next venture capital investment. Anyways, always love your outlook, Latchland says. I appreciate that. Rich says, I've been with the Bear family since 2017 and all the Omisego craziness. Great to see you doing awesome. Thank you. Great to see you doing well as well, Rich. Omisego, still rolling. Bro, you have great kite surfing. In certain areas, we definitely might in Costa Rica, but not tons. The waves here are fucking huge. I don't know how you'd get your kite board out past the waves. Like you'd have to like jump the kite up, fly the kite over like 500 meters of waves. There are a few bays in Costa Rica, like the Drake Bay and the Osa Peninsula in Punta Arenas, where there's probably pretty calm because you're in a bay. But where I live, fuck no, you are not kite surfing. Living in the jungle, but seems as a... I don't even know what this person's talking about. JS says, Tio calling someone a putz made my evening. And that's what I do at JS. I call people putzes just for you guys to enjoy this. Fun. Share the love and hit the likes, Wendell says. Thank you. What's your thoughts on storage? I don't have any. Just as a quick run, like maybe I could make some conjecture. There's just too much uncertainty in the technical charts right now. And again, like I said, if Bitcoin all of a sudden moves back around 57,000, like it's going to keep going. You could even make an argument that what we just witnessed was a fucking spring. Like here, take a look at it like this for fun, right? Let's go back out to the 4 hour. We'll go back to Bitcoin. One of the crazy parts is, and we've talked about this before, is that you can have a phase C that comes down and actually springs into the bottom. And that's what's weird here, is that this supply signature is happening on the downside, and it should be, the supply signature on an upthrust should be to the upside, and we don't see that. So for those of you that are in the private group, you can log on and you can go to arcanebear.com and you can use I don't have the distribution patterns finished yet, do I? And I'm also not logged in here, am I? I'm not logged in here. Anyways, if you go to the Wyckoff trading ranges, I don't know why I'm not logged in on this computer, but you can take a look. For those of you that are not logged in, you'll have to sign up. But the point of this is we have seen phase C move back into the box and create a spring here before jetting upwards. And this is one of the interesting parts. Well, first off, please note, I am always learning. I do not know the answers. I'm not trying to predict the future. I'm just trying to understand what is happening at the present, and from there make adjustments. That's why I took some risk off the table the other day. Here, though, again, this could be a spring. These supply signatures with no huge buy volume coming in to create this upthrust, this could be a spring. Now, this is the thing, is we don't know. You know, even when we zoom in here, there was just no real large structure in the supply signature going out of the box, only to the downside. There's a very real argument here that we are not in a distributional pattern. There's a very real argument that this is the spring. That yes, just like phase A, I hope you guys are okay with me being so ridiculous, but here's phase A, here's phase B, and in phase C, we have seen springs go to the middle of the box, jump back above, and then continue the bull market. And the supply signature here is not overly extended on the buy side, it's overextended on the sell side. So I'm not convinced that this is distribution just yet. Now, if we can't get above 57,000 on this next rally and we come to below 47,000, we are coming lower for sure, like probably around 30-something thousand, 35, 36. But for now, we're in that sweet indeterminate ground where phase C is extraordinarily elusive. And if you guys want to learn more, there are free ways to go about doing this. So reaccumulation and distribution. And these often get confused for one another. Let's see, accumulation and distribution, versus, there we go, maybe that will do it. Okay, none of these are, oh, there it is. No, none of those. Reaccumulation versus, and just, I forget which one. It was Bruce Fraser has a great one. I just was trying to hope I could find it for, here it is, reaccumulation. Okay, so this is the reaccumulation review, and this is the trading ranges we've been following recently, which are horizontal trading ranges where we jump outside of the box and we continue to the upside. Actually, I'm going to log into Arcane Bear here. Just give me a sec, guys. You can't see that, can you? No, okay. Just want to make sure you can't see any sensitive information. I'm going to log into Arcane Bear so I can show you these reaccumulation schematics. And again, this is the difficult part, is that both reaccumulation and distribution can look identical, and they're the hardest to discern from one another. And right now, that lack of supply going into the upthrust has me a little befuddled. I'll use the word befuddled. So we're logging in, that should be fine. And then Arcane Bear should also be able to load and log in here pretty easily as well. Okay, yeah, boom. Okay, so back to this. Okay, so this is the pretty like standard cookie cutter reaccumulation ranges by Mr. Hank Pruden. Shout out to him. I don't think he's alive anymore. And normally, again, horizontal trading ranges, breakout. Nice P&F charts. But again, it's the fact that reaccumulation and distribution can look so freaking similar. Okay, well, we'll go to Arcane Bear. We'll load up the Wyckoff trading ranges. So I want to show you a kind of an interesting reaccumulation pattern. For those of you that are in the private group, you'll recognize this one right out the gate. Here's our accumulation schematics. And here, I think it's reaccumulation schematic 3. Yes, okay. So reaccumulation schematic 3 has phase C jump above the box. And we have many times before seen it move right into the middle on phase C. So reaccumulation, this could very well still be a phase C reaccumulation range. We don't know. And that's the interesting part, is that if the supply signature here was super high going up, I would be like, yeah, clearly a distributional phase, right? Clearly. But it's not. It didn't do that. It only came down for the downside. And then, so there's an argument that this is the spring in phase C of our reaccumulation schematic. Again, we don't have direct evidence that that's the case yet, and we need to wait for the market to confirm or deny. But this is one of the difficult parts, is that in reaccumulation, these things can they turn on the blink really, really quickly. I was looking for something else here. I'm not going to find it, am I? Okay, that doesn't matter. So this is reaccumulation schematic 3, and they do look distributional to a point, right? And that's the confusing part, is this volume schematic really doesn't say to me distribution yet. But we will know if we can't get back above $56,000, $57,000. So I'll have to keep a really close eye on that. Okay, I hope that helps. Other than DeFi, which other narratives for fundamental analysis do you see playing out of the market cycle, or perhaps the next cycle? I try to ignore that. My fundamental analysis looks at revenue and profitability often. That's one of the reasons why we invested into the Binance token. It's one of the reasons why we invested into the FTX token, FTT, and Solana. Is there's a very clear, obvious like business model behind them. Hope that helps. I would like to see you taking a look at dent charts, Tio. Cool. Probably not going to do it. Keep it simple. The whole market's kind of moving together. What's your average day like? Oh, that's a good one. I usually wake up around 5:30 in the morning. If I'm really on point, I get like 15 minutes of meditation. When things are going extraordinarily well, which they're not right now, not because things aren't going well, but just because, I don't know. I'm kind of bored with Costa Rica. I'm moving to Bali, I think in the end of May here is gonna help. But 15 minutes of meditation. I jump up, I fucking make chaga tea. I'm a huge fan of chaga. Well, mushrooms in general. I collect all my own mushrooms. Like I go hike out in the jungle and collect mushrooms. So I have all this like nice chaga. So I wake up and make chaga coffee with a little bit of like cacao, with a little bit of honey and cinnamon in there as well. That's like one of my favorite parts of the day is that chaga coffee moment. It's seriously so freaking delicious. It'll blow your mind. If I ever made you a chaga coffee, it'll blow your mind. I usually then drop back down to the computer after having kind of like shower, brush my teeth, shave if I need to, kind of sentiment. And then it's like emails, work. Try to read, usually in the evening. The afternoons are super hot here right now, so I don't do a whole lot of anything outside, except for maybe I'll lay out in the sun. But as you can tell, I'm like have not been laying out in the sun the last few days. And then I usually read at night, kind of wind down. Sometimes I like watching TV shows. Like I love Rick and Morty. I think I love cartoons. Midnight Gospel, huge fan of stuff like that. Really colorful cartoon work. Mike K says, I lost $120,000 with leverage. Any advice? Don't use leverage. You need to be really good at knowing what you're doing to use leverage. I try to tell everyone on all my streams, don't use leverage. Don't listen to fucking BitBoy shilling Bybit links or Ivan on Tech. Oh, if it goes up 10%, you'll make 100%. Yeah, but they don't fucking also say if it goes down 10%, you've lost all of your money. It pisses me off that those guys are popular. No, it doesn't. I don't care. Let them be popular. I don't give a shit. What pisses me off is that people don't understand how leverage works. And then you jump into it and then you lose your money when all you had to do was like buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and not do anything. So I'm sorry. Don't trade with leverage unless you're like a fucking professional. And that's 99% of you are not professional traders where you should be trading with leverage. As a matter of fact, you just shouldn't trade with leverage unless you're really good. And there are times when it's good for you. Was that your view you posted this morning? Yes, that was my view. JW, you tell him, Tio. Thank you, Jay. It's good to see you. Isn't a lot of that volume on the way down attributed to leverage long liquidations? Yes, of course, but it's the upthrust in the volume and supply signature that indicates the distributional pattern more clearly. So, Bonaire for kite surfing. Nice, cool. I've never been there. Do you feel like ETH IP 1559 could have a similar effect to the halving and altcoin season? And do you feel deflationary tokenomics could decouple altcoins from Bitcoin? I think a lot of these have already decoupled from Bitcoin. Some of the blue chips, Link was an obvious example of that. In terms of IP 1559, I'm not sure. I think it's a little overhyped. I think IP 1559 is hype more than anything. Yes, it will create a demand for Ethereum, but I don't know if it bodes well. Ethereum's already kind of stumbling along in terms of like being able to do all the things it could. If they fix that, more importantly than the deflationary mechanism, they need fucking speed and reduced cost of transactions. I think that's more important. Sapman says, I invested in Doge. First off, if you bought Doge, you did not make an investment. Just to be clear, you made a gamble, and that's a very different scenario. If you think you invested into Doge, you should probably do more homework. I own Doge, but not as an investment. I own Doge as a fucking lottery ticket to the world of goddamn randomness, because it is freaking ridiculously random, and I have never once been able to tell what's happening exactly in the future. So I own Doge because I don't know what's happening. That's not an investment, though. I think we may retest 37K. Yeah, I feel like this as well. Nice, JW, keeping track of all the moron spam. I appreciate that. Um, Megan says, I've been to Bali twice and I'm in love with it. Yeah, I seriously, I love Bali so much. There's a beautiful woman there too. I'm kind of crushing on right now. Shh, don't tell her. No, she knows already. I'm pretty sure she knows. Um, Also, that was a lot of volume, was absorption. Yeah, that's supply signature on the downside. That's, again, the key. How often do you do ayahuasca? I did it a bunch when I was younger, but maybe once a year now. It's kind of nice, just small amounts. I don't really drink alcohol, so why not drink a little ayahuasca? Matthew Pye says, TA aside, my sentiment feels that the big money wants in, but will manipulate the market down to get it cheaper. They don't manipulate the market down. See, this is where people get it wrong. It's not market manipulation. It's buying and selling. That's it. There's no market manipulation. That's just buying and fucking selling. Now, we could make an argument that they've manipulated the price of silver. But at the same point, if silver went to its supposed price anyways, there's no way you could afford a cell phone. Like, just be real about that. If silver's at $600, you're not buying a fucking cell phone. It's like $18,000. Oh, hey, there she is. She's so cute. Anyways, so manipulation, I think, is the wrong word to use. Can the price go down because whales or big interests sell a lot to scare retail investors so that they can buy it back up cheaper? Yes. That's not manipulation. That is how the markets work. Okay. Do you think they have the ability? See, this is the other thing too, Matthew, is that this they you talk about is me. It's you. Comp man, one of my favorite heuristics that Richard Wyckoff came up with was the idea of the composite operator, that there is one person that operates the entire fucking market, and they do it against you generally, right? Because it's just you against the market, basically. But it's just one person. And because of that personified heuristic of the market man, that's all of us. We are all the market man or woman, whatever, if you want to be gender specific, composite operators. So they is us. We are comp man. Think about that. Would you accept the vaccine to get into Bali? I don't need to get a vaccine to get into Bali, so business visa, and I'm there for 6 months. And if I'm lucky, maybe even get an Indonesian wife and just never leave. Do you think when they, I don't know what this they is. Why it's all the conspiracy theories around the theys. Tony says, do you think they create derivatives and high leverage for crypto to diminish its value for ecosystem? No, you want derivatives. You want high leverage. You want those in your toolkit as a good manager. The problem is most of the people in the market are not good at managing money. They don't know how to use leverage and derivatives to their benefit, and they often end up losing because of that. So yeah, I use leverage at the right time. In the middle of the bull market, it's not the right time to be using leverage. The right time to be using leverage was March 11th, March 12th, March 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, March 20th. Oh, God. So you guys, if you spam the chat, we will just ban you. So if you would like to get banned, continue to spam the chat and we'll kick you out. JW says, Jerry, good to be in the room with you, brother. Hope you're well. Oh man, it's good. We got the whole bear family here right now. I love this. Is ayahuasca legal in the U.S.? Yes. The what are they called? I want to keep on saying Diamante, but that's not. I know that's not it. There is a tribe, a Brazilian tribe, the Daime tribe. It's like a Christian version of ayahuasca, and they can legally take and serve ayahuasca in the United States, although I'm not sure what states particular. You'd have to do your own homework. Okay, let's blow up the chat here for a second. Go get rid of Mr. Holochain. Okay, let's take a look at a few more of your guys' thoughts and questions here. We just banned those people. Yeah, I know. I apologize. Just scammers and spammers always posting useless. Would you accept the vaccine if mandatory? Well, if it's mandatory, I don't have a choice then, do I? I don't think they're going to make it mandatory, just in case you were wondering. I don't think that they have the legal ability to do that. Not yet, at least. It's too early. Coming to you live in Colorado. Awesome. Good to have you here with you, Tony. Daniel says, I use chocolate powder. Do the chunks provide more benefit? No, I just happen to buy them raw. Any of the, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a vaccine expert. I think it's stupid to be rolling out vaccines. I don't think Thailand is actually close to initiating a vaccine passport. There's talks, lots of talk. Countries like this talk all the time. They talk about a lot of stupid shit that they never enact. Let's see. Thailand adopts use of jab passports 3 days ago. Bangkok Post. Thailand is aiming to adopt the use of jabs. Why do they call it a jab? Such stupid nonsense. For an official travel document. Yeah, I don't care. What it doesn't mean you'll need that to travel. It's just a way to show that you had been vaccinated. Yeah. Yeah, so even in Thailand, it's basically like getting a sticker for going to the fucking doctor. It's not going to be a required thing. Like I had to get typhoid fever and my yellow fever vaccinations back in 20, fuck, how long ago was that? It was like 18 years ago. Jesus Christ, I'm getting old. When I first hitchhiked to Central America and I was going to some of the southern countries, I had to get typhoid and yellow fever. And I took that vaccination like, no problem. I don't care. But that vaccine had like a few years of infrastructure behind it. So, yeah, I think these vaccine passports are basically like a sticker from the doctor. They don't mean jack shit. They're not going to stop you from coming into the country. Maybe they'll make it easier. They'll have like a line for people that are vaccinated versus people that have a PCR test or something, but I don't know. Tony Rizzo says a free market weakens with derivatives. That is, I disagree with this weakening with derivatives. That's not what we see. We see the exact opposite of that. You're talking about something else, which is that are you witnessing the buying and selling of something that's actually available? And we don't know how much fucking silver there is. So silver is a very specific type. Now, there's a lot of discrepancies in the regular stock market. GameStop was a great example where they're oversold 140% short. So it's, there is still discrepancies in our older market, but it actually brings fluidity to the market. It makes it easier to like you just see high volumes moving in and out. I think it's actually good for the markets. Bad for the people that don't know how to trade with leverage, though. Matt Cases, do you shoot on a Sony? No, I'm a huge, look at this. You're going to like this. I'm not a Sony guy. Here's the mic. Here's the setup. There's where you guys normally would see. This is a Canon 5D Mark IV. I also have a Canon 70D. And just recently, because it's tax year, we'll get closer to here. Oh yeah, look at that. Arcane Bear. Bang. Bang. I bought myself a new tax toy. This is the new Canon R6. So I'm definitely a Canon, I'm a Canon guy through and through, I guess. Why do you chase money when living in the jungle? I don't chase money. I like working. I think you've drastically confused those two things. I actually like working. Poor people that don't like what they do. No, I love what I do. I've loved what I've been a solo entrepreneur for over almost a decade. Yeah, a decade now, motherfuckers. That's a decade of never having a boss, only working for myself. So yeah, I don't chase money. I like working. You've misunderstood that one. My relationship with the Bear family has outlasted 3 girlfriends. My relationship with the Bear family, I don't know how, well, we won't get into that. I'm in the same boat, Rich. Pew Pew says, bye, this is the time in the first 2 weeks we've been above the negative trend line on BTC. Yeah, again, remember, right now, Bitcoin is underpriced in the stock to flow deflection model, right? So that means that the cost of Bitcoin to create costs more than it does to buy right now. And we will see that balance out. But there's a lot of signs in the rest of the secondary market that are also leaning towards this temporary distribution. Simon Hill says, you're heading to Bali. Where are you basing? Well, I own property, and I own 2 corporations in Costa Rica. I own a healthy beverage company, and I've got around 2.5 acres of farmland here, hundreds of fruit trees, private well, little private waterfall on the property. So I want to move to Bali because I just love the lifestyle. I've got a bunch of friends that live there, and I have a thing for Indonesian women, apparently. Why are you leaving your home? I just answered that. Yeah. For Indonesian something? We're going to find out, I guess. Thailand has been enacting medical cannabis when they used to want to cut off your hands. That's hilarious. It's always sad when they do stuff like that, when you see those big changes. Like, hey, so we used to cut your hands off, but now it's legal. It's always a tricky one. Yeah, these short-term thinking guys in your investments never do you well. Just owning and accumulating when you're young is a really smart way to go. I'm new to crypto. Do we sell now and buy the dip? No, JD, if you're new, don't sell. Just consistently accumulate for the next 5 years and you'll fucking thank me later because I saved you tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of stupid fucking late night mistakes of being an idiot beginner trader, which is, it sounds like you're headed straight into sell now and buy the dip. Jesus Christ. Don't do that, JD. You're going to fuck up. mRNA is not a vaccine. Yeah, it is. It's teaching your body to create antibodies. It's too early to play around with shit. I don't understand. I have no idea what's going to happen on the weekend for ETH, nor do I care. Mr. Vasco. Totally unimportant for me. Priston Honda, leverage is for people who want to allocate less of their capital to a trade for the same gains. It's also for diversification. So if I have let's say I've got $100,000 in collateral on this side of the trade, and I want to open up a few extra side trades that run around like 1.5x. No liquidation point whatsoever. It's a great way to have extra exposure while maintaining your principal collateral. So I agree with that. More exposure, actually, not less, in my opinion there, but maybe we're just having miscommunications. I'm trying to move to Singapore because of the 40% capital gains tax. So I'm a non-resident of Canada. So my corporations in Costa Rica pay Costa Rican taxes, which is around 5%. My capital gains and income tax gains after this next year won't exist at all. And I won't have to pay any taxes on any of my capital gains or any of my income. The last 2 years has been weird because I'm going through this. Canada's a little weird, right? We're not like the United States. It's a little easier, but you still have to pay these like departure taxes, and they still try to fucking ring you through for some type of money. So I don't use a tax program. I have a private accountant and tax man. You can find them at arcanebear.com. I suggest it. And I'll probably be adding another one just because of some of the legalities around owning corporations and foundations in so many fucking countries now. Hi, bro. I will be completely out of internet Wi-Fi cell service from July 15th to 28th. Okay, great. Good for you. Congratulations. I'm invested in the market but worried something might happen while I'm gone. Advice? Walk the fuck away. Keep investing and think about the next 5 or 10 years. And while you're at it, read the book 100 Baggers and Dan Dow. Stop wasting your time. That's my advice. Wow, so many great questions. Yeah, guys, you guys, there's so many questions and it's hard for me to keep up. I apologize. Why do you think trading with leverage on FTX is a better option? I love FTX. If go join arcanebear.com/FTX and get 5% off any of your trading fees by joining arcanebear.com/. I love FTX. It's a great platform. But if you're new, don't trade with leverage. Like only for the professionals, kids. Like I don't know how many times I gotta say that shit. I Run Winner says, Tio, this AMA has been great. You need to do more. I'm sure everyone agrees. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'll try to do more. I'll try to. I love this. I love the Arcane Bear. Like seriously, I have had so much fun doing this stuff with you guys over the last few years. Like if you look back when I was doing videos on my cell phone about pineapples or like rating business class flights or all that fun shit. Like I'm so grateful for this community and the ability to create and share stuff, I guess basically via YouTube to some degree. So thank you to YouTube, even though they do kind of suck a little bit. But I'm very grateful for you guys and the fact that we can do these random moments and that they're valuable for you. Because I love talking, apparently. Tim Mosley says, hey, what's up, Tio? I always love your ambitions in life. Looking forward to the future adventures and can't wait to hang out. I look forward to meeting you as well there, Mr. Tim Mosley. Thank you for that. Jameson in the house. Let's jam soon. Yeah, we should. Look, actually, I just wrote a new song. I'll grab the guitar. I wrote a new song this year. Maybe you guys will like it. I wrote it for my grandma. She passed away a little while ago. She was like the best person in my life ever. She was the only person I could when I was younger that I could tell I was taking psychedelic mushrooms and wouldn't get mad at me. So I love my grandma. I love my parents too, but my grandma just embraced me for all the stupid, crazy shit I was doing when I was younger, like taking mushrooms. So I wrote this one, and it's like kind of like a remix. I don't know if you guys like the song "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot." I'll try to sing like blah 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 blah, but here it goes like this. Carry me. Carry me home. Dig your toes into the sand and wade out off and into the distance and carry me home. Holy water, wait, holy water, coming forth to carry me home. Ooh. Anyways, what sparked that? Someone asked something. I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, it was Jameson wanting to jam. That's what it was. Jameson's a new song I wrote. Anyways, that's my entertainment for you guys this evening. Tip-off says, thanks, I'm just worried about the bull run flash ending. Yeah, it does that. It actually almost always does that. I don't think we're there yet. We would have actually been below the trading range already. We would have went straight to the bottom. And we did get close. Like we're not too far away. Like don't get me wrong, we're in a really precarious position, but I don't think it's the end of the bull market. And Jameson, it's good to see you. Well, I'm definitely down for jamming. Let's do that. Let's see here. Florid says, I want to begin with crypto, but what app do I have to download? Well, you should download DigiFox because I am an equity investor in that company, and Datadash, the CEO who created it, did a great job. So try DigiFox by going to your app store and downloading DigiFox. Let's see. What resources can you learn before I leverage trade? Don't leverage trade. What the fuck is wrong with people? Jason says, what sources can use? Jason, you can't even spell. Don't think about using leverage. Jesus Christ, guys. You guys are just going to lose money talking like that shit. Is this Jameson from Myrtle Beach? Maybe. I don't know. From Charleston. Okay, there we go. He's answering the questions for me. You sing nice. Well, thank you. I like singing. Crypto uptrends. Yeah. What are the names of the books you recommend? This last month, I have reread, and just so you guys know, I reread Fooled by Randomness and Anti-Fragile. Don Dow and 100 Baggers were amazing. I'm at 4 books already this month. You guys are slackers. Either that or I have no life because the jungle is so slow that I just end up reading all the time. Like, oh, what are you doing? You're like, no, I'm going to read books. Not much else to do out here. I was a huge fan of the book Siddhartha. One of my favorites. I really liked Snow Crash as well. I read that in right when the pandemic started. It was probably one of my favorite books of 2020. I love everything by Nassim Taleb. Benoit Mandelbrot and his book, The Misbehavior of Markets, is really good as well. The little book, The Big Secret for the Little Investor by Joel Greenblatt, I think is a really good one too. The Alchemy of Finance by Warren Buffett is also great. Or is it George Soros? One of those two, I forget. They sound the same to me. Do you prefer Indonesia over Puerto Rico for taxes? I'm not an American citizen, and Indonesia is not a tax place for me. My corporations are not run out of Indonesia. Although maybe I will one day have a company there too. New to crypto, I love the channel and thank you for the TA. I'm happy to be able to share with you guys. Tim Mosley, Tio, Jameson is a beast. You definitely need to have a jam session. Jameson and I have been friends for years, actually. When I first moved to Costa Rica, I managed the band stage, or the village stage, and that's where I met Jameson. He was playing there. I was such a huge fan. He is a beast. Like looping and playing and singing. I love Jameson. Jameson, you are fantastic if you're still in this chat. Read Siddhartha, and it opened my whole life. Yeah, I agree. Siddhartha is one of my favorite books. By far one of my favorite books. You keep saying you're going to make a book list. Okay, fuck, I will. I will make a book list. Tell you what. Well, it's a long list. That's the problem. It's not a short list of books. I will do it, though. I promise. I apologize. I keep saying I'm going to make a book list, and I haven't done it. Do you think anyone is too much of a noob for the Bear Den? Like it's for more advanced investors? You know, this is kind of a fun question, Jessica. You know, what's really interesting about the Bear Den, because, you know, building it as a product, a service, and a community, one of the really interesting things is that it's more about accountability on the long term than anything else. You know, you can learn a lot. There's so many different types of investments. It's really all up to you anyways. I think the accountability of the group is probably the most beneficial factor because people like Bear Den Jerry and JW and Glasswalker, myself, we all keep showing up and helping one another learn together. So there is no like, you need to be this good. It's that long-term accountability. Like Bear Den Jerry has been in there since the day I opened the doors to the private group. Which is 3 years now. He's been there for 3 years, and I fucking love Jerry. And a Glasswalker and JW as well. And I love everyone in the Bear Den. But what's important is that we keep showing up together because life happens. Bull market goes up, bear market comes down. Bull market goes up, bear market comes down. It is a great place for noobs if you're willing to think about the long term. Be like, you know what, I'm going to join this group because it's keeping me accountable to keep showing the fuck up. And that's where usually people miss out is they just don't show up. You know, that's ultimately where I think a lot of people have seen the most value is this really high level of accountability. Okay. Jerry is a prince, Glasswalker says. You're so right. Mark Carter says, a great place for noobs. iRunner says, I'm so antisocial, I'm scared to join. Well, a lot of us are antisocial too, and what's fun is that we all get along. Like, I don't have a Bear Den Jerry in my local community. Like, I've been screaming at people to buy Bitcoin for years now. It's one of the reasons why I started the YouTube channel, because nobody fucking listened at all to me. So I'm like, why am I telling people that don't care? So what's unique about the group is that it's a lot of people that actually care. So I love that. Bear Den Jerry says, I love you too. Aw, this is great. How do you envision crypto changing the world in 10 years? Ooh, not even gonna try to guess. The fact that I have a drone in my bag right now that can fly out at 70 kilometers an hour, I could have never envisioned that. 14 years ago when I thought a ham radio was cool, I never would have saw any of this coming. Nice, this is a good one. Secantic says, a koala bear checking in. I'm loving the group so far. Awesome, great. So everyone that joins, you get a koala bear tag to start off with, which basically, that way you don't get all moon boy, clog the chat up and other stuff. Yeah. IC2243 says, I learned from you to plan your trade and trade your plan. You bring so much value to us. Nothing comes easy. I don't know how you stay so balanced and even keeled, because I'm not online always. If you saw them, like, cause guys, well, first off, I try to meditate like at least 10 to 15 minutes, but I do lose my shit. Like, I'm not always balanced and even keeled. Like, it's probably most noticeable when I'm driving. Like, if you're driving with me, I'm like, this motherfucker is driving so slow right now. like trying to pass him and shit like that. But in my daily life, I'm not stressed out about anything. Views on Anchor. I don't have any view on Anchor. Sorry. And this is more of just like a general AMA right now. Isn't it generally true that those who hold long-term gain more than those who try to time the market and leverage short-term? Abso-fucking-lutely. Read the book 100 Baggers. If I could get all of you to read one book, I would hate that you would only read one book, though. That would be the downside. 100 Baggers is great. Really, there's so many of them, I think, that really embody this idea of asymmetry and time, because it's all about volatility through time. And that's really what you're betting on. So yes, most people who do really well buy and don't ever sell. Bart, tips for someone who's just started encrypted 2 weeks ago: study, ignore the price, just keep accumulating and ignore the price. Don't think, oh no, I'm losing money because my portfolio is down. Just keep fucking accumulating assets that you think are valuable. Nice, JW. Good to see you back. I appreciate that. You guys, I've got a whole Bear family in here right now. This is great. You think you'll see the largest wealth transfer this decade? We definitely see. I saw some people make an overnight millionaire Doge post, which is pretty ridiculous, right? Tim says, when Tio isn't uploading these days, I just relax and enjoy profits. Nice. Shrooms and crypto will change the world. Are you familiar with Alan Watts? I love Alan Watts. Do you have any favorite work by him? I think my favorite one, I'll show you guys my favorite Alan Watts one. I did a video using some of his content. You know, I should actually upload more of these. Let's take a look here. What YouTube, Gab Cohen. So if you go to Arcane Bear and I think it's Gab Cohen. Yeah, there she is. Okay, check this out. I'm gonna show you guys. BTC share. Okay, so this is my favorite Alan Watt quote. So if you look up Arcane Bear, Gab Cohen, this is one of my favorites. I'll turn the volume on to see.
Suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time. Or any length of time you wanted to have. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure. And after several nights...
Anyways, that's that. That's my favorite Alan Watts little speech there. The dream, any dream. The best traders are dead. Yeah, exactly. JW, guys, don't fucking trade on leverage ever, especially if you're new. Don't buy and hold, and it will go up over time. Listen to what this man is saying. JW is right. Listen to what he's saying. Is the bear den a place for veterans? Yes. How do you spell 100 bagger? 100 bagger. Oh, okay. So let's do this too. We can take a look at the book. It's called 100 baggers. 100 baggers, like getting 100 bagger. So this is the book by Christopher W. Mayer. 100 baggers. The book is about stocks that return $100 for every $1 invested. That means $10,000 turns into $1 million. This is how you find them. And here's your wildly improbable chance of success. It sounds like an outrageous quest with a wildly improbable chance of success, but it's not. It actually happens all the time. And 100 Baggers collects a lot of data talking about how it's achieved the most frequently. I love that book. It was a great book. Really, really fantastic. Bear den is for anyone wanting to learn. Yes, I agree. It seems like you dream on high speed. Maybe I do. Need to slow T.O. down. I leveraged my dreams. I 20x'd my dreams. Well, considering, look, if you guys would have met me when I was like 20. So when I was 18 years old, I dropped out of school in grade 10. I hitchhiked from Canada, through the United States, into Mexico, not knowing a fucking goddamn word of Spanish other than hola. For 6 months with less than $1,000 with nothing but a hand drum and a didgeridoo. And I played music in restaurants, in hostels for places to stay. I was a street kid. I was playing music on the side of the road, busking. The fact that I own multiple businesses now and fly around the world all the time, like, I did great. I've done great for myself. I'm very happy here. Thank you. When is alt season? I'm pretty sure I'm actually the person that came up with the term alt season back in 2000, at the beginning of 2017, in case anyone cares. Thoughts on Aave? I like the DeFi sector. Yep. Dapper Dance says, I appreciate your channel. I've been following you for 3 years. I appreciate you, Dapper Dan. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So I'm gonna leave it at that. We'll kind of end off this live stream in AMA. It was over an hour of talking, which is just crazy. And I'm gonna play you guys a little song. This is another one that I wrote for my grandma, just because I'm having a heartfelt moment and I miss her dearly. So you guys all get to appreciate for her what she can only hear in spirit. Snow-peaked mountain, looking down to the valley of green below, where the rain of sun shines down them. It'll be okay, I know, where the rain of sun shines down them. Be okay, I know. Through the forest and day-lit pathways, you shine your light and lead the way. You'd always come up running up to meet me halfway. You'd always help remind me that it's gonna be okay. 'Cause up above on a snow-peaked mountain, looking down to the valley of green below, where the rain or sun shines down them. And it'll be okay, 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 I know. Anyways, thank you, Bear family. I had a wonderful time with you all this evening, letting me rant and riff down any crazy day-dimmed pathways that we might find ourselves on. I appreciate you. Call your mom, call your dad, call your grandmas, there's grandparents if they're still alive. Let them know that you love them. Let the people that you hang out with most frequently know that you fucking care. One of my favorite things to do is just pick up the phone every now and then, go through my phone list, call people that I like. Oh, yeah, that was a great example. Like Jesse. There's Jesse. We're just going to send Jesse a message right now. I'm going to go, hey, Jesse, I love you. Thank you for being alive. Do that. Hey, I love you. Thank you. You're special. Do that. It makes their day. There we go. See? Hey, I love you. Thank you. You're special. See you guys in the next episode. Stay with the Arcane Bear. Boom.